Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a small haul for you that I want to share. This came from FragranceNet, and I believe my total was about $78 because that's around where you can get free shipping. I always go for that. I got 3 fragrances. I'll go through them real quick with you, and then I'll maybe go through them a little slower when I spray them the first time. The first is by the Police. I'm sorry, not the Police. This is by Police, and it's called To Be. And this is the bottle. It's just clear glass with the metal on the mouth. And I haven't sprayed any of this yet. A little metal plaque. And what's this dangly thing look like? Oh, it's a skull dangling from this. I've never had a perfume fragrance that had anything dangling that was shaped like a, well, so this isn't my first skull, but I guess I didn't think of that. The coffret of the black Phantom. The coffret is a skull. This is my first perfume bottle skull. I can't wait to try this. Oh, on the box it says super pure. Eau de Toilette, 40 milliliters. This is green motion. That's the type of printing that they have. It's like, might be a special kind of dye. The Police. Oh, I want to spray this so bad, but first I'll go through it with you. And then this is by Molinard, and this is, I don't know how quite to pronounce this, but it says, I think Iles Dior. But there's a picture of like something from an island, like, you know, one of those trees, like a palm tree or whatever, those kinds of trees. Well, it's on the box and on the bottle. So this might be my first tropical fragrance that I remember getting. Tropical, that would be just way cool, right? Because Molinard is. And then the last one is also by Police, and it's called Imperial Patchouli. It's 100 milliliters. And I'm going to show you this bottle. It's just kind of interesting. It's like curved inward in the back. And then there's this ridge going up the back. This is the kind of bottle that you got to be careful you don't knock it over because it's tall and thin. But it's called Imperial Patchouli. I-L-O-V-E. Patchouli. And I know it's ironic, right? But maybe it has to do with the dreadlocks. That I like patchouli so much. I just find it so comforting. I never went touring with the Dead or anything even close to something like that. But so let's try this first because gosh, I'm like blushing from having to like think about all this Imperial Patchouli. Because the Police better not let me down. Better not. I probably should have done the patchouli last because it's probably going to take over. This is what I'm hoping as I sit here blushing, hoping. Aha! It's very masculine. Wow. I'm looking forward to seeing what this dries down to. Oh my Lord. This is making me blush because I feel like this is good. This is not expensive, this Police brand. They're reasonable. They must be a designer brand because they're reasonable. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way it's niche or anything such like that. It's a FragranceNet, you know? It's kind of like, I always thought kind of mass produced or possibly something, but maybe not because this skull is pretty awesome. There are other ones in this skull line or collection. I don't know what it's called, the collection. It's not the skull collection, as far as I know. But there are other ones and they're cool. Like there's one that has like a tie-dye or like kind of like tattoos on its face all over. These are all skulls. But they looked way different than this. They look bigger. 100 milliliters. Oh, well, it's very masculine. It's got those masculine aldehydes, but not much. And I think it has some like aromatics or spices in there that make it seem like what you expect from a masculine fragrance. So things that you've smelled already in other masculine fragrances or things like it. Wow, I'm going to get back to you on that because that is going to be a hit tonight. I'm going to spray it down after my shower and this is going to be great. Wow, Iles Dior. I'm into it. I mean, I'm actually really into the fact that I can smell sand in this. Let's do this one next. I'm really looking forward to both of these. It's a good spray. Nice and, well, it's Molinard, I suppose. Molinard isn't cheap. Ooh. Wow, that's bringing back memories, but not of a beach. Oh my God. There is like a suggestion of sand. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I'm overplaying this. Maybe I should revisit this tomorrow. There's not like any coconut or anything like cocoa butter, or it's not like that. It doesn't smell like cocoa butter, like a vacation type of thing you would think. It smells like the natural, beautiful part of vacation. So no suntan lotion on this vacation. Oh. Now, is it possible that there would be a third hit in a row? Is it possible? All right, I'm gearing up to spray this. Oh, it looks like this dangly thing comes off to spray. I'm nervous that I won't like it, but I shouldn't be nervous that I won't like it. It's just a fragrance and it can change. Oh, this is fruity, but like, a different kind of fruity from what I have experienced lately in fruity fragrances for the last like month and a half. There are some interesting notes in here. Some kinds of fruits that I probably don't even know how to pronounce. Oh, this is pretty. So I really want to look up what this to be is. The main accords are citrus, green, fresh spicy, and fresh. The fresh, it's there. It has a 3.76 out of 5 rating with 29 votes. It was launched in 2022 and doesn't list the perfumer. The top notes are bergamot by Granny, mandarin orange, black tea, osmanthus, mugane, base notes, driftwood, davana, and woodsy notes. This is not bad. Strong. Okay, I need to put my nose away because the alcohol was going up my nose. Oh, I have a feeling there's some really nice musks in here. I'm back again. I got interrupted. So I'm going to smell these strips just to see if anything remains because, and I might be nose blind too, but I believe only one of them has scent on them anymore. And that one's faint. Okay. So I came back about 20 minutes ago. This one was the only one I could smell on the strips. And it had a different kind of dry down. I didn't smell sand so much anymore. Now, I don't know what material they're using to make sand. I haven't looked it up yet. What is this called? Super Pure. So, Super Pure is very mild, of course. And I'm not surprised, and that's not an issue right now. My issue is that this one called Imperial Patchouli didn't hold up. I was only gone for like maybe an hour. Come on, people. Maybe these bottles need to sit for 2 weeks in a dark place. I think I probably do that just by the regular living situation. I don't have the blinds open all the time. Which one's this? Yeah, this is the only one that still has scent, and this has probably been 2 hours now. But I'm not giving up. I'm intrigued by this patchouli. I'm not sure what it's going to be like to wear it. Okay, maybe this isn't that unique, but for me it is. I have under 300 bottles. So yeah, oh, I'm getting it. I'm getting the patchouli now. Oh. It's fresh in some kind of way that I'm not used to. It's just like a different kind of aromatic that is in here. Like maybe it's a type of spruce. I have black spruce, but there's also blue spruce, and I grew up with a blue spruce tree. I do find it curious that they used a green bottle, but maybe it's because of this green and spicy and fresh. It just says green notes. Go to see on the police website if I have time and see if they have better notes listed, because I beg to differ with only listing bergamot, mandarin orange, spices. Okay, they're not even telling me what spices are in here. Then in the middle, green notes, floral notes. They are evil now. Floral notes, are you kidding me? And then patchouli and woody notes. This is not just a simple patchouli fragrance, okay? If you want one of those, it's reminiscence patchouli. It's not cheap, but it's not expensive either. It's just kind of 100 or something like that. Yeah, this isn't going to last a long time. And there's something aromatic that's masculine. Sometimes it puts me off and sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes I think it's good for me to get comfortable with that smell. For some reason, I'm not comfortable with it. And then on this arm, I'm going to spray this one. They use nice, heavy, I was going to say aluminum, but I think it might be more than that. You know, this reminds me of something, and I cannot for the life of me remember. Something from a long time ago. I feel like it's something from the 70s or 80s. And I don't know, it's a time. It's almost like, did someone wear this? Like these florals that are in here. Iles Dior by Molinard. The main accords are aromatic, woody, lavender, citrus, fresh spicy, earthy, mossy, white floral, patchouli, and yellow floral. And the notes. In the top, lavender, mandarin orange, juniper berries. In the mid, honeysuckle, mimosa, sarsaparilla. In the base, moss, patchouli, and amber. Wow. Do you know? There's sarsaparilla in here. This is like, I didn't even realize this. When I buy these things, I don't look carefully at all the notes. Apparently, this one has juniper berries and sarsaparilla. Those are two components that you can use to make old-fashioned root beer. And you know, I mentioned before in another video, I'm working on a root beer perfume, Sassafras. Sassafras Soda Fountain is the name we have now. Sassafras Soda Fountain for this perfume. So it has sarsaparilla potentially in it and juniper berries. And this fragrance, the fact that there's lavender, and I don't hate it, and it's a lavender patchouli fragrance with moss, which I believe is oak moss. So that's why it's lasting so long. And I can't smell oak moss. So if you don't like the smell of oak moss, you might not mind it. I'm back. It's the next morning after this fragrance haul. I wanted to follow up specifically on the Molinard fragrance. I continue to be impressed by this house. I think I only have a total now of 3 fragrances from them. I have Habanita. It's a vintage bottle, probably from the 1990s. And I'll do a video on that sometime. That's a leather fragrance for women. Very Potent. It's probably a chypre. And then I have Vanille Patchouli that I did a video on at the park for you, with a bottle similar to this one, but this one's fancier because this one has like this copper border here. But they have the same type of copper colored lid. I was thinking about these notes and wondering what in here is reminding me of the 1980s. And that was when I was a child. In here, there's sarsaparilla and juniper berries, which are two things that they would put in like either sarsaparilla beer, like a soda, like root beer, types of root beer. And those were very common in my childhood. And so maybe it's reminding me of that, but this does not remind me of a root beer at all. And then the other thing that might be reminding me of my childhood is honeysuckle. Honeysuckle is in the mid with the sarsaparilla. I'm not used to picking out honeysuckle unless it's really strong, but honeysuckle was in a soap, a liquid hand soap that was at my aunt's house, and it was there for a few years because they didn't use much soap. They're very conservative people. And we had sold it to them because it was a fundraiser for our school. They had chosen it. And their whole bathroom smelled like that honeysuckle. And it was quite a strong memory for me. So even though consciously I don't smell honeysuckle and I don't consciously smell root beer, there might be something in here just below my radar that is actually triggering those memories. This fragrance doesn't have a vibe of root beer or specifically honeysuckle. This fragrance has a exotic vibe. I'm thinking the Mediterranean, somewhere like that, I imagine. Somewhere where it's dry and like there is sand, which I still don't know where that's coming from either. How they created the sand accord that I'm picking up on. It's not listed. The sand is not listed here. And the other thing is that there's two listings for this named fragrance by Molinard. There's a vintage version as well. This is the picture that Fragrantica has on the modern formulation. And it says it was released in 2022. No perfumer mentioned. And then there's this one. That has got a very unique and elaborate and expensive looking bottle. It's the same name, and this one was launched in 1929. And there are different notes completely. The main accords are woody, powdery, vanilla, warm, spicy, amber, cinnamon, fruity, sweet, white floral, and almond. And the notes are, in the top, peach, apricot, and pineapple. In the mid, heliotrope, jasmine, lily of the valley. And in the base, Virginia cedar, amber, cinnamon, sandalwood, and vanilla. This older fragrance has a 4.15 out of 5 rating on Fragrantica, and this modern one from 2022 has a 3.2 out of 5 rating with 49 votes. And when I purchased this, I only was looking at the older version's notes. So I purchased this thinking it was going to have those other notes. So I never got a chance to see the sarsaparilla and the juniper berries. So I'm pleasantly surprised because I think I probably, well, I'm not saying I wouldn't love that vintage fragrance. I mean, 1929. I want to be a fragrance archaeologist one day and just start to explore those like super old fragrances and their bottles and just, I don't know, I want to know more. They describe the original one as a rich floral fragrance under the slogan, "Message from Provence, a floral paradise." This one's more unique, and this one strikes me as niche. This strikes me as a niche fragrance. I'm going to be paying attention to the other fragrances by Molinard, because everything I've smelled by them now, this might be the only house where this is the case, that everything I've smelled so far by them is a hit. It's a hit. It's a solid hit. There's one called Cure, which means leather. And they sell that on eBay. And I'm thinking about getting that one. And then I'm debating about whether to get a backup bottle for Vanille Patchouli or not. That's $39 for 75 milliliters. And my current bottle is down to almost 1/4. And then there's a Patchouli Intense, I believe, something like that. There's a regular Patchouli, and then there's a Patchouli Intense. The Patchouli Intense is about $50 for 75 milliliters. And I think I would opt for that one. I want to check out the notes and compare. What else? Well, there's a Mediterranean, but I looked at the notes and they look a little light on the notes. So I might not invest in that one. But the Cure, I am very interested in getting as many leather fragrances as possible, and specifically ones that highlight the leather. So that's why I got English Leather Black, which doesn't have a lot of leather in the forefront. It's a lot more just a spicy fragrance. And it reminds me of something else. And I'm still trying to put my finger on which other fragrance I have it reminds me of. It might be one marketed towards women, to be honest with you, with those spices. And I'm thinking about trying out the regular English leather, the traditional one. It's a little more expensive than what I would like, and it doesn't come in a 100 milliliter bottle as far as I can see. That's what's holding me up on that. But I want something, a basic leather that I can layer if I like. And I like the idea of it being not like super niche. I know there are some really great leathers out there. I've had some recent recommendations for them, but they're like $155 a bottle, and that's not something I'm interested in doing right now. I want something more basic, less expensive, and a large bottle of it so I can get attached to it and have it for a while. So if you have any recommendations for some basic but good quality leathers, let me know. And then the follow-up for Imperial Patchouli by Police. I sprayed it before bed multiple times. You saw me spray a whole bunch under my shirt last evening. And this is a kind of green patchouli. That's why the bottle's green like this. Green is an accord listed, but it's kind of low down, but it does come across as green spices. Maybe it's woody as well, but the patchouli is more prominent in the woody department than the other woods. So it doesn't last at this time unless it just needs to sit for a little while. So I'll let you know if something changes with that. And I haven't worn this one too much because I didn't really want to mix it with the others because they would drown it out. They're a little bit stronger. This one's not a super strong fragrance. This is a very moderately balanced fragrance on the lighter end of things. And that's unique for me. So, and yet it lasts, right? Because it lasted longer than the other two on these scent strips last evening. This one's going to be nice, sort of like Juliet Has a Gun, except not quite as strong on the florals. And there are some intriguing notes in here. And this gives me an excuse to explore some of the other To Be collection. And I think there are other ones that are different collections that aren't To Be, but they're in the skull bottles, and I'll be getting some of those. I will. But I'm going to watch out and see if I can get a bigger than a 40 milliliter bottle, because this is kind of too small for me, but it fits in the pocket nicely. Yeah, this brand Police, you know, let me know if you've ever bought anything by this brand and tell me which ones and what you think of them. I heard about them on Sarah Mays's channel. There was, I think, what is it? It's a, I think it's a white bottle. She's mentioned it a couple of times in her videos. It's one that I haven't gotten my hands on because she tends to like more sweet, gourmand fragrances than myself. I like them, but there's a limit to how much I like them. And I don't want to just have those in my fragrance collection, so I don't have it. They do have a lot of fragrances. Maybe I'll read a little about what their house has to, what they have to say on Fragrantica about this house. Police is an Italian fashion house that was founded in 1983. Initially, the brand sold sunglasses for women and men before other product lines were launched. Today, Police sell all sorts of eyewear, jewelry, and watches, accessories such as belts, and of course, perfumes. The first self-titled fragrance of the house was launched in 1997. The scent, composed around fresh top notes, floral middle notes, and woody and musky base notes, is often referred to as Police Original. The fragrance turned out to be a financial success, and the company presented a new perfume pair called Police Naked Pour Femme and Police Naked Pour Homme in 2003. Several celebrities, among them stars such as Bruce Willis and the Italian football hero Paolo Maldini, have sported the Police's merchandise. They have 84 fragrances in the Fragrantica database. There's one that has the same bottle as this one, but it's a really great, like, crimson red. It's called Instinct. One with that bottle that's called Royal Black. One called Passion. Then they have Police Woman and Police Dark Women, Police Daydream, Police Passion, Police Sunscent. They've got several lines. And they have Forbidden also for men, and it's a black handcuffs. It's very interesting and risky to do a bottle shaped like handcuffs that are made out of plastic. Then I'm going to show you the bottle for the Illusionist from 2012. That is a woody aquatic fragrance that also has citrus, musk, powdery, aromatic, fresh, iris, herbal, and fresh spicy accords. I don't know how it would smell. There's ivy in the top notes, along with bergamot and water notes. So the ivy could be pretty strong and green, and it could be potent. In the mid is cedar, sage, and iris. And in the base, musk, cashmere wood, and moss. I mean, just for the bottle alone. And yeah, this skull is like a silver metallic, kind of shiny material. It's not see-through, it's opaque, and it looks like it has a dent in the skull, like something damaged the skull. Then there's a white one that's like nice creamy white. It's called To Be Born, To Shine, Woman. It's got gold accents and a gold thing across the mouth, and it's white, opaque white. There's also one called To Be Camouflage, and that's a green skull. They have some that are skulls with headphones on. There's one called To Be Rebel from 2016 that's a dark blue skull, like clear glass, and it's got a mohawk that's like a crimson red mohawk coming off of the bottle. I'm going to click on that because I want to know what they did for the mohawk. Where is the actual sprayer? Maybe it comes off. Maybe the mohawk comes off and the sprayer's underneath there. That would be cute. To Be the King for men from 2013. That's a black skull with a crown on top. And then from 2013 as well, there's To Be the Queen, and that's a white skull with a crown on top. I guess all these skulls have something across the mouth. And they have a wings collection, and it looks pretty masculine. I think they're all for men except one, and that's called Wings Femme. But I guess it said something about 56 fragrances. That's pretty good. 84, excuse me. Their newest fragrance is from 2023. Police fragrances were made in collaboration with perfumers Celine Ripert, and then Drom, D-R-O-M, and then Pierre Constantin Gouros, and Olivier Peche, and Mathilda Bijawi, and Veronica Nyberg, and Domitille Michelin Bertier are the perfumers that work for this house. So I try to savor the moments of opening the boxes, spraying them for the first time. Try not to rush too much into it. And making these videos for you helps because it helps me to slow down. And when I do that, I'm less likely to get disappointed by the fragrances and judge them too quickly, because everything changes. Your perspective changes from day to day sometimes, at least mine. And I noticed that. And you might have made a choice to buy something, and then you get it and you might feel like totally let down because of something that you expected. But even though it might not turn out to be what you were thinking it was going to be, doesn't mean it's not going to be great or even change things for you. Like this fragrance, I have a feeling this fragrance is going to change things for me, because it reminds me of something that's going to change my perspective and the images that I get and the feelings I get. This is giving me subliminal messages because it's got some things that are low dosed, under the radar, that are triggering memories. That's powerful, because not only are they triggering old memories, but I'm going to be attaching new memories to the fragrance just from smelling it in modern times right now in my life. I love the psychological aspect of perfume. I might take a picture of this for you because there's kind of a 3D effect going on with how they did the painting. The painting of the tree is on the back. Yeah, I'm going to have to shine light through it and show it to you that way. The painting of the tree is on the back side, and it's raised paint. And then on the front is where they wrote the name of the perfume and the name of the house and probably eau de parfum. Something about grass. It's simple yet elegant. Yeah, so it doesn't surprise me that they charge more for this fragrance or this house, because I think they put quite a bit of work into, and they've been around, like Molinard, apparently been around since at least 1923 or 29, that original fragrance came out. That's a long time to be making fragrances. Well, thank you for watching. And I hope this video didn't get too long for you.